They're not malicious, they're not trying to undermine you, but your staff could be quietly destroying your organisation's reputation every single day. And the worst part, many leaders have absolutely no idea that it's happening. Here's the interesting thing. Your organisation's reputation isn't built by your marketing team. Your reputation is everybody else's collective perception of you. And it's built over time by every individual interaction involving everybody in your extended team. That could be the way they respond to an email, even a mild complaint. The tone they take when they're in conversation with an important client or customer. Those little interactions build up over time, and that's that cumulative collective perception. So you might think a business's reputation is won or lost in one incident. That can be true, but more often than not, it's the slow build-up. And so everybody in your team has a huge stake in that and can influence it every day. This is a big challenge for leaders, organisations and brands everywhere, but it's not a people problem. It's a lack of alignment between communication and the culture, the very essence of the organisation, the essence of the brand. Your reputation, if you can imagine your brand, your logo, is balancing on 3 pillars. Imagine that. Some days it might feel like the pillars are about to collapse to the ground. But just imagine that. The first pillar represents everything you say about yourselves. That means everything that your team says, how they show up, their energy, their body language, how they look, how your buildings appear. All the things that you say and don't say that project the essence of what you stand for. You and your extended team can 100% control that. You can't take it for granted because your reputation can be won and lost right there. The second pillar represents what it's like when your customers, clients, stakeholders, community members, whatever you call them in your organisation, directly interact with you. So now this isn't what you're putting out, it's what others directly experience. So think about this. As soon as there's a mismatch, a lack of alignment between those 2 pillars, your precious reputation is at risk of crashing to the ground. And this can happen without you even realising it. So a business can say that customer service is at the heart of everything we do, and yet your teams might be not even consciously sending a signal to people that when you contact that organisation, you're the last person on the face of the earth that we want to hear from. So there's a mixed signal. There's a lack of alignment there. And this happens day in and day out in organisations. You say you stand for one thing, and yet when other people show up and experience you, that experience doesn't match what you say. So a great place to start is working on the alignment between those 2 pillars. The third pillar, you might be wondering what that represents, that's what others say to others about you. Now these are conversations that you're not a part of. You are probably not even aware of them. Sure, you might see some of them on social media. You might become aware of what others are saying about your organisation there. But you know what? A lot of those conversations are not in the public view. They're happening at football training, in school canteens, around the table at family barbecues, when people are talking about your brand or your organisation or somebody associated with your business. You're not aware of that. And we can get into this game of paranoid online whack-a-mole, trying to stamp out negative comments online. And that's pretty futile. I'm not saying ignore those comments, but you're much better off making sure that everybody in your organisation understands the importance of being clear on what you stand for and making sure that they're creating experiences that totally match that, so that when people interact with you, they're getting what you promise they're going to get. So many reputation issues can be addressed right there where we're meeting people's expectations where they are. And if we become aware that we're not meeting their expectations, we address it right away rather than waiting for that disgruntlement, that lack of met expectation to now spiral into a much bigger problem. And ultimately, it might then spill over into the public domain in a cranky post on Facebook or something else that now starts to do real damage to your brand. So everybody in your team are your biggest reputation ambassador. They need to be clear on that role over and above their job description. Focus there, and collectively, you're going to be building a brilliant and positive reputation. So 3 simple things that every leader can do to help to ensure that your team members truly are your reputation ambassadors. Firstly, define the standard. Make it really clear so that everybody knows what your business or organization stands for, and make it real in plain language, not lofty words that sit on your website but don't actually translate. Make it plain so that people understand the behaviours expected of them. Secondly, model those behaviours. You've got to be the premier trust torchbearer for your organisation. If you're not, who else is going to be doing that? Make sure that you're modelling those behaviours. You're making sure that people's expectations of you are met. And that is going to spill over across your broader team. And thirdly, make sure that the message is spread through all your teams. If you're in a large organisation, that's no excuse for people at all areas in that business to not understand their important role as reputation ambassadors. So be clear, model the behaviour, but make sure you're constantly and consistently spreading the word about the importance of all of your team in supercharging your organisation's reputation. I've seen this play out many times in organisations that have worked with me over a period of time. There was one organisation that was experiencing a really negative reputation. It was playing out in increased complaints. Also a drop-off in business. People were simply taking their business elsewhere. But working with their team members, right down to the most junior team member, and we talked about this concept of reputation and their critical role as reputation ambassadors. And we worked on some simple strategies to build trust, to build respect in those one-on-one conversations, in those emails, in those everyday interactions. So it wasn't a big splashy marketing campaign. It was down to interactions between humans and other humans. And over time, it made a huge difference. And I've got emails from that business telling me what they've noticed in terms of how their clients and customers started to interact, because now they had a different energy and everybody understood their role as a reputation ambassador. They really took it on. They really did the work. They really understood the premise and they put it into practice, and it made a huge difference. And the same can apply to you. So don't underestimate the incredible power of each and every one of your team members as reputation ambassadors for everything that you do. These days, with low trust in leadership broadly, people are looking to everyday employees and the influence they have to build trust in a business or organisation. Have a chat to me if I can help you build trust between your organisation and your customers and clients, and build your team's capacity to be your #1 reputation ambassadors.